Hello, everybody, and welcome back. BJ here from BJ Drinks Beer. And today I've got one for you from Ship Bottom Brewery from Beach Haven. I couldn't remember the name of the town for a second. From Beach Haven, New Jersey. This one is a 6% peach IPA. Look at it here. Can got a little smashed up. That's all right. Not worried about it. So it's a little sweaty. I've had it out for a couple minutes, but nice and cold still. Fruited hazy IPA, brewed with Racal hops and conditioned on peaches and peach puree. That's right, Danger. He's in catering for the show, but there's no food, just beer. All right. I've been drinking way too many like pumpkin and Oktoberfest beers lately. I'm not even really feeling the pumpkin beers. I just bought a variety pack and I had a bunch of extra laying around, so I was like, yeah, sure, bring them home. But yeah, I haven't had an IPA in a while. I'm actually really excited to try this one, especially a fruited IPA. Ugh. There we go. Wow, patience. This is actually that's right. Yeah, where are you, Rick? He usually drops a comment in the first half hour of my show. He'll be around, although he hasn't lately. So it was devastating to me. This is only like maybe the third time this has happened. 1 second, but this is my original Ship Bottom glass. Whoa, almost broke it again. I don't know what happened to it. I was just it was drying from the dish rack, and I picked it up, and it had this circular, and so I poured water into it, and the bottom fell right through. So that was not very pleasant. But big thank you to Riley from Ship Bottom for hooking me up with a backup glass. She actually hooked me up with that glass as well. Yeah, big thank you. I love Ship Bottom. I love promoting Ship Bottom. I love the glass. I love the style. And it doesn't feel right drinking a Ship Bottom beer out of any other glass. On the nose. Oh yeah, that peach aroma is coming through heavy. It doesn't really come off as being artificial. Definitely has like a natural peach aroma to it. Not really picking up any hop bitterness or any kind of, yeah, not much else. Just a peach. Let's give it a try. Okay. Peach is very tricky. It can, even if it's not artificial, it can come off as tasting very artificial. And this one has a very natural flavor to it. The bitterness is there. It's probably about maybe 40 IBUs, 30 or 40. The bitterness is there, but it's not overpowering, and it blends well with the sweetness of the peach. Peach aroma. What did I say? Oh, peach. Oh, yeah. Peach. No, it doesn't smell like suntan lotion and sand and dead fish. Um, yeah, the sweetness of the peach just barely peeks out over the bitterness of the hop. So I mean, it's pretty balanced. Medium on the palate. I wouldn't say it's light on the palate. I mean, definitely there's a little bit of thickness in there. Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of peach, but I mean, I could throw back a couple of these and not be sick of it. Yeah, the flavor it's subtle enough to not be overpowering, but You know, the hops are they're just enough to keep you interested. Yeah, although the peach is the dominant flavor that I'm picking up, I wouldn't quite say that it's overly fruity. Um, there's definitely the hop bitterness in there is providing enough of a flavor to, you know, to not make the peach overpowering and without making it seem watered down. Also, I don't know if that made any sense. Yeah, just enough bitterness on the back end to keep you coming back for more, and almost enough sweetness on the front end to to be a little too much, but then the hops come in right away and balance everything out. And no sediment. That's always a plus. If you're enjoying this video or finding it helpful or informative, why don't you go ahead and drop a like? It helps the algorithm and it makes me smile. And while you're at it, why don't you give me a follow? My name is BJ Drinks Beer, and I'm on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. If you've had this one or anything else from Ship Bottom Brewery, why don't you go ahead and leave a little something in the comments and tell me what you thought about it. This one sounds good, sounds interesting. Maybe you might want to give it a try. Maybe you got some questions. Why don't you go ahead and leave them in the comments? If you would like to find this one, you can find this one at Joe Canals in Marlton. Rating. Oh, yeah. I usually do that, but I don't know. I do this so many times over the course of the video. Also, if you're a wrestling fan or even if you just can't get enough of me, follow BJ and oh, there it is. Follow BJ and DG Talk Wrestling. Now on Instagram and Twitch. Rating. For peach not being my favorite, this one is absolutely blah, blah, blah. Whoa. That's right. Where you? I'm sorry. I'm not. I'm focused on the one thing. I don't think to do the other. Yeah. So every Sunday, every Sunday at 5, we do a live stream talking about the events that transpired in wrestling over the course of that week, and the shows are a blast, man. What can I say? If you're a wrestling fan, like I said, or even if you can't get enough of me, check it out. Let me start that over. Rating. How's that happen? Rating. I'm gonna give this one a 4 out of 5. Peach not being my favorite, this one doesn't do a lot to. How do I put it? The peach isn't overpowering, and the hop bitterness is enough to keep me interested and balance it out. Very good flavor, and the peach doesn't come off as artificial, which is always a plus. 4 out of 5. Thank you. If you haven't had anything from Ship Bottom Brewery, I don't know what you're waiting for. These guys, any style you're into, I bet you can find one that they make that you'll absolutely love. Favorites of mine, a couple seasonal favorites. We got the blueberry wheat in the summertime. We got the Oktoberfest and the can't remember what the pumpkin ale is called. I think it might just be called pumpkin ale, but they're always, you know, excellent in the fall. In the winter, we got the Mexican stout. That's one of my all-time favorites. Um, Yeah, pretty much everything they do is just absolutely excellent. I haven't had one from them that I wasn't into in years now. Um, yeah, these guys are just amazing. If you haven't had anything from them, I definitely recommend you check them out. If you haven't been to the brewery in Beach Haven, New Jersey, I definitely recommend you check that out. Excellent time. The staff were all amazing, great to talk to, very helpful, and yeah, man, great place to sit and drink a beer. Especially, we had the second floor to ourselves, to me and the people I was with, and there's a huge bay window overlooking, I guess, the bay, maybe the ocean. I don't know geography wise, but it was overlooking some kind of beach and body of water. And yeah, excellent place to go and have a beer. So that's all I've got for this time. Until next time, cheers. But stay tuned because we are not stopping. I am going to finish this beer and probably go ahead and grab a THC beverage, soothe my jangled nerves. I have a lot of beer and not a lot of THC today, so I'm trying to kind of, go back and forth, spread it out a little bit. Try not to do anything back to back. Uh, you can, you don't need an invitation, man. You can do whatever you want. I can't stop you, and I'm not going to be mad at you. Oh, yeah. So in beer news this week, I heard that my source being the salesman for the next beer I'm going to drink tonight, um, 21st Amendment uh, from somewhere in New York. They are closing, which is amazing. I had no idea that they weren't doing well. They are a brand that, when summertime comes around, everybody's, hey, do you have Hell or High Watermelon? And which I'm not a fan of, but apparently people love. And what? And yeah, I remember just last year, I reviewed their pumpkin IPA out on my balcony, and like I said, I had no indication that they weren't doing well, and apparently, in the next couple of months, they're going to be closing down, which is it's a shame. Uh, the state of craft beer right now, it's tough. More and more craft breweries are closing. It's People aren't as interested anymore, and I get it. The boom is over, but I mean, like, it'll never go away, and there will always be people who go to the liquor store and they don't want supermarket beer, they want craft beer. There's always going to be you know what I mean, a market for smaller breweries, but I mean, now it's getting to the point where, like, if you're not one of the best out there, like, and I don't know, like, how the money works in any of these situations, and, like, how much they owe and how much they borrowed and so on, whatever. But it's just a bad spot to be in for craft beer right now. Like, there's fewer and fewer breweries every year, and which is actually very good for the breweries that survive, because then they absorb um, not only the drinkers of craft beer, but they're also going to absorb the brewers, the salespeople, the people behind the scenes that make everything work. So it's one of those situations now. The boom is over, and not everyone can just, like, have a little bit of startup capital and start a sustainable brewery. Um, it's a rough day and age. I was only in the business for about 6 years. I was at a bar before that, so that wasn't really in the business because I was in the back of the house. But yeah, being in the craft beer business, I've seen pretty much the end of the top and the way down. It's not in a horrible place right now, but it's getting to that point. And if you're a South Jersey person, you'll know, like breweries like Ship Bottom, like Tonewood, like Bonesaw, like Double Nickel, like, places like that are going to be fine. But I worry about places like, and now I can't think of any examples, but I worry about places like Core 3 and, you know, I'm blanking on examples, but like there's a lot of smaller places that distribute that I'm worried about. Like the places that don't distribute, I'm not as worried about. Like Mechanical, I don't think they're doing too well based on last time I was there, but they have. I feel like they might have enough of like just a neighborhood in-house crowd to sustain themselves, but these breweries that are putting out all this money to distribute their product and not getting that revenue back, they're the ones, and I'm blanking on examples right now. Like Core 3 was, well, I don't even think they distribute anymore. But yeah, I'm totally blanking on examples right now. But it's like every couple of weeks I hear rumors that this brewery's not doing so good. They might close soon. Like I said, craft beer is not in a good place right now. But A, there is hope. And B, enough of the brands that are there right now doing their thing are going to survive. It's just a few might not. And yeah, and that's one way to look at it. Like, okay, you're weeding out, like, and not that, okay, some of these breweries were downright terrible. I'm going to have to admit, not any that like immediately come to mind, but like, uh, yeah, okay, some that immediately come to mind, but I don't want to call them out because it's not like that. But yeah, it's going to be a better product for the people who want it, but there's going to be less and less people who want it. Like, if you live in South Jersey, pretty much anywhere you go, Tonewood is going to be available. Bonesaw probably going to be available. Maybe Double Nickel, but there's a lot of smaller places that like really deserve to be in these same places, and more they're getting taken out for the newest Miller Lite Lime or whatever. Oh my god, did I just will that into existence? Watch next summer, Miller Lite Lime. You saw it here first. Anyway, let me finish this so I can drink a THC beverage and chill out, and then have another beer and get all riled up again. This was even like as it's warmed up a little bit, like the flavor is maintained, like it hasn't gotten funky at all. Like it's still very balanced even at like probably 10-15 degrees from where it should have been or where I started. All right, excellent stuff. 4 out of 5. Stay tuned. I am going to go ahead and grab, excuse me, grab a THC beverage, and yeah, and then I'm gonna drink that. So, get tight. Eeny, meeny. A lot of mango going on here. I got a strawberry mango, mango pineapple, straight up mango. All right, what's the highest milligram? 10. Let's do it. Guess I need a glass. Welcome back, me. So this one is from Senorita. It is a hemp-derived THC beverage, 10 milligrams THC. It is a mango margarita, non-alcoholic, obviously. 10 milligrams THC per container. Just for the laughs, I'm going to read the instructions. User instructions. Ease into it. Start with 1/4 of a can and monitor effects. Sip more to enhance as your tolerance allows. I'm sorry. I'm glad I got a laugh out of that. 70 calories, 9 grams sugar. Total gram sugar 15, 9 grams added. Ingredients, carbonated. I guess I shouldn't have been shaking it around like that, but yeah. So we got carbonated water, and I can actually read this. Like, they printed black on a bright color. I can read it, and the font isn't ridiculous. Carbonated water, organic blue agave syrup, mango juice concentrate, lime juice concentrate, natural flavors, Delta 9 hemp-derived emulsion, MCT oil, acacia gum, citric acid, Himalayan pink salt, absorbic acid, sodium benzoate, potassium sorbate. Okay, so pretty much what you see in most of them. Glad it's not heavily carbonated. That would have been awkward. I don't. All right. On the nose, very heavy mango. The aroma comes off very full flavor. This one is it's not going to be one of those seltzers where there's a hint of flavor. This one will have some flavor to it. Looking at the color, basing it on the aroma, yeah. Let's give it a try. Okay. So I'm not a margarita fan. Let me just qualify. Let me say that. Not a margarita fan. I'm a mango fan. This one is flavor wise is very, very good. I feel like if I were a margarita fan, I would enjoy this a little bit more. I just don't like the format. I like mango by in certain things. Anyway, having said that, flavor's excellent. Like I said, I would enjoy a little bit more if I were into the whole margarita format. But as is, very full flavored, very lightly carbonated, so it's very, very drinkable. That agave, I think, is what I don't like. I think that's it. I think I just don't like the agave. Yeah, blue agave syrup. I don't know. I haven't really dabbled like that. I've only, dipped my toes in the water of anything tequila, and most of the times when I did, I violently vomited. But this one, Like I said, for not being into the whole margarita get up, this one is not bad at all. The mango flavor comes through strong. Uh, I don't like the carbonation. Are margaritas carbonated? I don't think so, right? Like there's no like club soda or margaritas are just like what tequila and I'm not a tequila guy. I've never had a legit margarita in my life. So I don't know these things, even though I do work at a liquor store and should know these things. I stay on my side of the store and they stay on theirs. um, I can't believe I'm looking this up. Margarita recipe. Oh my god, I've looked this up before. Okay, orange liqueur, lime juice. Okay, okay, okay. I don't feel like such an idiot. Yeah, like I said, for not being a fan of the format, this is not bad at all. I know some of the alcoholic RTDs I've had, like the Cutwater margaritas, like the mango margarita was honestly like it was probably a little sweeter than this, which masked the tequila well, but the tequila still peaked out. And I'm not a tequila fan, so every sip, it took me like a half an hour to drink. The lime Cutwater did nothing to mask the flavor of the tequila. So it took me about like an hour and a half because after every sip, I was like, just keep it in, just keep it all in. Um, yeah, this one is so it's sweet but not cloyingly sweet. It's a little sweeter than you want it. Not really picking up any of the lime or any other flavors. Just agave and mango, pretty much. If you're enjoying this video or finding it helpful or informative, why don't you go ahead and drop a like? It helps with the algorithm and it makes me smile. And while you're at it, why don't you give me a follow? My name is BJ Drinks Beer, and I'm on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. And while you're doing that, why don't you give my other channel a follow? Scroll, there we go. Oh, BJ and DG Talk Wrestling, where every Sunday night at 5 o'clock, we have a live stream discussing the events that transpired in wrestling over the course of that week. And now, we're on Instagram and Twitch as well. This post is Danger Ginger approved. Or sorry, this plug is Danger Ginger approved. Yeah. Ratings. Um, if it were 3 years ago, 2 years ago, even, this one will get a higher rating. But right now, I'm going to give this one a 3.5 out of 5. And the difference between 2 years ago and now is I stopped eating a lot of sugar. I've drastically cut back. I don't drink it in my coffee. I don't really eat sweets. The only sugar I get is from beer and stuff like this. So I really, really notice it when something is a little too sweet. And at 15 grams, it's a little too sweet, especially when the only other flavor to balance it out is something that I'm not enjoying, which is more of a me thing and not a representation of the product. But I don't know how to properly rate something I aggressively don't like. 3.5 out of 5. Well, this is not my first experience with Senorita. I had one, I don't think it was last week on Saturday. I think it was 2 weeks ago on my stream. And I remember I really enjoyed it. I believe it was like a jalapeno pineapple kind of thing. I remember the pineapple wasn't very aggressive, but it was just there enough to like give like the illusion of heat. But I think I do remember I enjoyed that one. I could be wrong. Who knows? Um, in fact, it's funny. I have salesmen come in, and I'll be like, "Oh, hey, I drank your product on my stream. You know, oh, what'd you think of it?" I don't remember. It's on my stream. Like, I stream these, so I don't have to remember. If this had a little heat to it, it would be amazing. Yeah. Well, that's all I've got for this time. Until next time. Cheers. But sit back in your chairs. Don't reach for that power button yet. Oh, I was off centered this whole time. Going the wrong way. That's all right. We have. I'm not doing any Oktoberfest tonight, but I have a bunch of Oktoberfest in my fridge. I just want to figure out how I'm going to do them. I want to kind of do like a blind Oktoberfest challenge, like every South Jersey Oktoberfest I can get my hands on blind taste test. But A, that will require someone else to come over. And B, that seems a little ambitious. So maybe I'll just the ones I can gather, maybe I'll just rate one night. I'll just do it an all Oktoberfest stream. I don't know. Maybe I won't even do that. Maybe I'll just do separate Oktoberfest videos for every day of the Oktoberfest season, which is from like mid-September to early October. I don't know. Either way, I'm not doing pumpkin beer October this year. Do not ask me about that again. Please, please. I've had too many people ask me about it. I'm not doing pumpkin beer October this year. Yeah, definitely not doing it. I think there's only like 3 pumpkin beers that I haven't already reviewed that I came across. And yeah, I mean, I did a different one every month for 3 different years over the course of 4 years. And I only repeated maybe 2 or 3 of them. I I am, man. Like the craft beer industry, man. Like with less and less different beers showing up on the shelves all the time. That and like yeah. So I've done 3 pumpkin beer Octobers, so that's in theory, but not exactly. Because in some videos I did 2 different beers. In some videos I did a year-old version of a beer I did the other year. In some videos I just did my favorites, and then in one video I didn't even drink a beer, someone else did. So that's what, like on average, one a day. It's like, so we're talking almost 100 right there. I've done all like the easy to find ones. You know what I mean? Like I've actually gone to breweries and done ones that like you can't get in package. Uh, and I don't think I'm going to be able to do that again this year, but I can probably come up with 3 weeks worth of Oktoberfest beer. So I'm going to try to bang that out. When does Oktoberfest season start? I think it's September 19th, and I don't know why I think that. When does Oktoberfest start?
Oktoberfest in Munich 2025 will start on Saturday, September 20th, 2025.
That's weird.
Sunday, October
That's weird. So it starts on the 20th. I was a day off. I told you I don't know why I thought that. All right. I hope Petey's watching, and I know he's not. But next I got one from Neck of the Woods. Sit tight, kids. That's why I didn't mute myself. Yeah, that's really weird that I didn't make that connection because September 20th is the return after 20. No. Never mind. I don't know exactly how many years, but after like a lot of years of Pro Wrestling Unplugged, and I'll be front and center. My co-host in the chat, Danger Ginger, will be behind the scenes making it happen. Yeah, I don't have graphics to put up for that. I could, but I don't. But there will be more on my social media about that. What's he got? I don't know, man. He's usually here. He's usually. I bet maybe you know what it is. Maybe I didn't schedule it early enough, and like he didn't see it. Oh no. Something's gonna happen, and I don't know what it is. Why is that green? Is that the reflection of the? Oh no, that's green. Okay. All right. I don't know what's gonna happen, so I'm just gonna go ahead with this review and act like there isn't someone lurking in catering right now. Oh yeah, yeah, and I got to make this. I'm sorry, Rick. It won't happen again. Yeah, horrible mistake. Won't happen again. Okay. All right. Oh, I love going off the sample stickers. Hold on, give me a second here. Usually do this before I go on air, but I make no secret of it that most of what I drink on air is samples that I get from various salesmen who are trying to sell their product to my store. And I'm the guy who decides whether or not to bring said product into the store. So you might as well let me taste it, right? And I might as well stream it when I do. All right. So this next one is from the amazing people at Neck of the Woods. This one is a 5% sour ale with raspberries, dry hopped with Stein, Golding, and Fuggles. And I don't know what any of that means. Raspberry beret. Oh, and it's called raspberry beret. Sorry about that. Raspberry beret, the kind you find at a funky craft bar. Raspberry beret. It hits your lips and makes you smile like a star. I guess I should have done that in like the style of the song, but no, you don't get that. All right, let's get into this one. I haven't had a sour in a while. I'm super excited. I haven't had an IPA in a while. I had one tonight. I had it backwards. All right. Look at the color of that one. Not quite as dark as I would have expected. Oh, a little bit of sediment, but oh, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, there's real fruit in there, and whatever fuggles are. Am I gonna have to look this up? I'm gonna have to look this up. What is a fuggle? What are fuggles? Okay, it's an English hop. Okay. It's a hop from England. Okay. On the nose. Definitely got some funk to it. Um, the raspberry aroma isn't coming through as much as I thought it would. Definitely there. Let's give it a try. Yeah, not the sourest, but definitely funky. Uh, maybe even too funky for me. Definitely chunky, a little too funky. I'll take a couple more sips, but I'm 86 in this review. I don't like this. Uh, if this is the intended flavor, then I am not a fan. Not very sour and just more funky than anything. Yeah, and more sediment than I like in my beer. Sorry, homie. Give me another sample. Moving on. Yeah. That's right. Get your tickets now. I don't know the name of the website, but yes. PWU pwunplugged.com. Or scan that. I don't know if you can see it. It might be pretty small. I don't know. Anyway, so I am drinking an Oktoberfest beer. That's right. Yeah, I'm super excited. Everybody check out the show tomorrow. The show is going to be a blast. So much happened this week, and we have so much to talk about. And unlike most weeks, I saved a lot of beer for tomorrow, so it might be a fun one. So this one, let me just gather myself here. So you see the shirt I'm wearing? Holy smoke! This band is not around anymore. About 10 years ago, probably they were active. Well, the front man from Holy Smoke, my good friend Dave, passed away this past week, and and Dave, among other things, musically, he taught me so much. But he was actually the guy who got me into craft beer. Um, he. I was drinking. I'm afraid to admit this. I was drinking 40s of malt liquor. I was drinking like Steel Reserve and like old, not old Milwaukee, Colt 45, and like, hey, what's up? Okay. So yeah, we were in a liquor store one day, on one of our many crazy adventures, and I'm looking at the 40s with the $5 I have in my pocket, and I'm thinking I can get two 40s, and he's over there looking at the single beer section. And he's like, "Why do you buy that stuff? It's so expensive," and blah 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 blah. He's like, I'm not gonna get into the whole conversation, but he was like, "Why do you drink that stuff? How do you feel the next morning?" And I was like, "Well, hungover. How do you feel?" And he was like, "I had one or two of these. I feel great." And they're higher ABV and blah blah blah. I was like, "Okay, you might be onto something." And that was like, when I started to acknowledge craft beer. And now look at me. But yeah, so this one's for Dave. Um, I don't. This isn't quite a review because I do plan on. I have a couple more bottles of this, and I do plan on having this one uh doing something Oktoberfest involved with this one. But yeah, whew, that was tough. Um, but yeah, so a little history behind this one. Uh, I was never really much of an October, well, not behind this beer itself, but oh, we got company. Yeah, that's right. Go Birds. It's going to be a good year as long as Carter can keep that to himself. So yeah. Unterdog, by the way. Uh, this is a reference to the Eagles, although it might be kind of hidden. You can see that he's rocking the green. I don't lederhosen. I don't know what you call that, but yeah, the mask and everything. We're the underdogs. Nobody likes us. We don't care. Not going to get into all that, but yeah. So it's a Philadelphia Eagles. It's quietly a Philadelphia Eagles themed beer. But why I absolutely love this beer is there's a brewery that due to a lot of decisions they made that affected a lot of people that I know personally in a very bad way. There's a brewery that I don't drink anymore. Uh, and I used to love their Oktoberfest. Every year when it came out, I went through about a case and a half in the first week that it was out. And well, I was talking to someone who used to work for them, and I had mentioned that to him, and he said, "Oh well." have you had Yard's Unterdog? And I said, no. And he said, that's literally the same recipe or similar enough you won't notice a difference. And he wasn't lying. This is as good as I remember. It's been about 2 or 3 years since I've had anything from that brewery. Uh, the one I mentioned before. But Yards, on the other hand, I've been loving me some Yards lately. Um, but yeah, this is one of my favorite Oktoberfests, and I'm very curious to see how this one is going to do if I do a blind thing, which I would love to be able to pull off, but we'll see about that. Maybe I got ideas. I got ideas on the nose. Yes, hints of caramel, toffee. There's a little bit of like a nutty aroma in there, like maybe a walnut or a pecan. I don't know how you say it. Um, a sweet breadiness. Yeah, I mean, you're picking up that malty sweetness. You're picking up all kinds of different aromas in this one. Very complex. Oh, it is a Marzen. Yeah, you see how red it is. It's not a fest beer. It's a Marzen. Let's give it a try. This one, oh man. So up front, you get a lot of malty sweetness, a lot of richness. There's some definitely some nuttiness in there. Like not saying it's like peanut flavored or anything, but the illusion of nuts. See what I did there? Very smooth, very easy drinking. This one is a 5.6 percenter. Um, yeah, nothing else to read on the bottle there, but yeah, 5.6%. I'm not up until like the last couple years. I haven't been that big on the Oktoberfest style. Excuse me, and the Oktoberfest style is one that I definitely get sick of very easily. So I'm trying to pace myself until the actual season, just in case I do plan on doing an everyday kind of thing. But this is my second six pack of this one this week, and I mean, I'm sorry, Rick. It won't happen again, Rick. You'll see if it happens again. Oh, we don't have the show scheduled. The preview show. Well, we'll be doing a preview show, and we'll see if I make that same mistake again. I'm not thinking about it right now. I can't think about it right now. Yeah, at 5.6%, it's definitely full flavored. There's a lot of these. Oh no.
Card has changed. That's all I will say till tomorrow.
Or at least I'll find out tomorrow. Oh, you're down there for a reason. All right. Anyway, yeah. Yeah. It's on the sweeter side, which I guess plays into like why it's so drinkable and so crushable. Like I've already drank more than half, and I've been like taking my time with it. Um, yeah, very crushable, very drinkable. Nothing slowing you down. No bitterness whatsoever on the back end. Anything like that. Yeah, very, very clean, but very sweet. I've had a lot of similar Oktoberfest style beers that get the sweetness right, but not the back end. You need that back end richness, that back end, even bitterness. Not that the bitterness in this peaks through, but I'm sure it's doing a lot to balance it out throughout the sip. Huh. I'm not going to do all the plugs and everything. Like I said, I'm not editing this one out, but I will rate it. And if you would like to find this one, you can find this one at Joke Mouse and Marlton. Ratings. I mean, oh yeah. That's right. I won't be there. Well, not today because they're closed, but yeah, tomorrow. And Monday through Friday, I'll be there. But yeah, um, did I rate it? I don't think I rated it. Did I rate it? I'm gonna give this one a solid 4 out of 5. I'm not as into it as I was. The sweetness isn't as. I don't. I'm not as into the sweetness now as I was in previous years. And not that it's the same exact beer, but similar enough. But yeah, 4 out of 5. Like I said, I've been through 2 6-packs of it. And if you haven't had anything from yours, I definitely recommend you check out some of what they do. Their IPA. Let's not talk about the last time I had a night with that beer. Actually, it wasn't even a night; it was a day. Let's not talk about that. Yeah, their pale ale's amazing, gold. And they have a lot of like new stuff coming out too, like their hazy pale ale, and they have a peach IPA or a peach pale ale or something like that. I don't know. Trash talk is very, very good stuff. If pretty much any style you're into, you can probably find one from Yards that's going to be very, very satisfying, if not amazing. All right, I needed that. Let's get mellow. All right. When I said let's get mellow, I meant just like, I'm gonna have a THC beverage now, but I forgot that I actually have one in my fridge by Mellow, so that kind of like willed itself into existence right there. So this one is a strawberry mango THC seltzer, 5 milligrams, no alcohol, obviously, 40 calories, 9 grams sugar, 10. How does this have 9 grams of sugar and then 10 grams of added sugar? Like, are they two separate things? Like, I always thought that was included. Okay, so this is going to be super sweet, apparently. Not heavily carbonated. Oh, never mind. There's some bubbles there on the nose. I have a prediction. I'm going to predict that this one is going to be way too sweet. I've had this one before. Yeah, I feel like I've had this one before on stream. Yeah, already? No, it's a big thumbs down. But I guess I should do the honors. Nope. It's like they took fresh fruit, like fresh pineapples and mangoes, cut it all up into slices, and then dumped 7 pounds of sugar on it, and then made the drink out of that. I'm not finishing this. My God, and I bet there's artificial sweetener in here also. Cane sugar. Okay, so I'm not seeing any artificial sweetener or any hidden sugar, but yeah, way too sweet. And once that aroma hit, I know I've had this one on stream before. If you were so patient as to give me 5 minutes to find it, I would. But you know what? I'm not asking you to. I got more stuff to drink. Okay, so I'll leave it off to the side, but getting a little crowded over there. All right, I'll be right back. Sorry about that. All right, a little background behind this one. So it was about maybe 3 or 4 months ago, beginning of the summer. I got myself a 15 pack of this, never having had it before. Cracked the first one, poured it, took a sip, and I was like, well, I'll get through them, but I'm not going to enjoy it. So fast forward to this past week. Um, the new sales representative for New Trail stops in, and I tell him that, and he's like, try it again. And I said, all right, I'll try it again, but it's going to be on stream. And if nothing's changed, I'm not going to lie. I'm going to be honest about it. I'm going to tell you what I really feel about it. Try it again on stream. So I'm trying it again on stream. This one is from New Trail. It is a hazy session IPA, 4.72%. You usually don't see that second decimal place. But yeah. Oh, I get it, because 24/7, 4.72. I guess I get it. I don't know. All right, nothing to read. I can already tell you this one is going to be a dud. Maybe I'm wrong. But this one was brewed in late May. Sorry, canned in late May. It's a session IPA. The rule is 90 days on an IPA. And those last ones I had were fresh, so that's my basis of comparison. Oh, I taste that. Oh, on the nose? Okay. On the nose? Yep. Just like I remember, session IPAs, they have that, how do I describe it? It's a very distinct aroma, but it's unlike anything else, and I can't exactly put my finger on it. Whoa, that works too. Yeah, like, so when I had Double Nickel session a couple weeks ago, it had this same aroma, but not the exact same, but a similar enough aroma. But it's all right. Maybe I'm just making it up. All right, let me on the nose. Definitely has the aroma you would expect from a session IPA. Maybe citra hopped, maybe a little mosaic. I'm actually really curious, but I'm not about to look it up. I'm going to say citra mosaic, maybe Simcoe. Let's give it a try. Okay. Yeah. It's exactly how I remember it, and I mean, it's just there's a lot better out there. Um, Let me not crush it yet. Yeah, session IPAs, I mean, you got to understand, like, as low ABV and as like low flavor intensity as they typically are, like, you're going to get a lot of kind of like the same feel from a lot of them just because they're so similar in flavor intensity. Um, this one has a lot more flavor intensity than you would expect from something that's sub 5 ABV. And the flavor is not horrible. It's just, and I know I shouldn't rate like this, but in comparison to some of the session IPAs I've had lately, this one is falling very flat. The flavor intensity is there, um, but it has. I don't know, I'm gonna say like a weird maltiness because maybe it's not from the malts at all. Maybe it's from the hops. I don't know. Yeah, just not the best session IPA that I've had. And I've had a few lately. At least one of them I reviewed on stream within the last couple of weeks, and that blew this away. Shouldn't be comparing. All right. Yeah, light on the palate. Way more flavor intensity than you would expect. Doesn't come off as watery at all. Definitely comes off as being mild to full flavored. Um, the flavor that's there. All right, I got to look it up. I got to see what hops they're using in this one. New Trail 24/7 hops beer advocate. Yes. Okay, yeah, Citra and Mosaic. Exactly what I thought. I guess I'm just used to Citra and Mosaic being a lot more full flavored. I'm like not full flavored, but dominant. And with this one, how do I put this? Yeah, like I'm definitely now I'm getting like the citrus flavors from the Citra and the dankness from the Mosaic. I don't know. Maybe it just needs another hot, like a little Simcoe or a little Matueka or something. Like, it just flavor wise, like I'm picking up what they're laying down. It's just not doing it. And I've had other session IPAs from local breweries that have done it. Be right back. All right. That just brought back some memories because my boy Dave, who passed away, actually helped me on a remix of that song. And I don't know if it's this one. No, it's not that one. Don't know. No, I don't have it loaded up. But yeah, wow. Ooh, but I should definitely play if I have it loaded up by the end of the stream, and I do not. All right, figure it out. Anyway, yeah, this one I'm gonna give it a 3.5 out of 5, but I'm super curious as to what I rated Double Nickels Session a couple weeks ago, so I'm gonna look that up. Sorry, everybody. I think it was this one. Yes, definitely this one. There it is. You get that hint of citrusy juiciness, and then right away with the bitterness, almost like bitter orange juice. That's the difference right there. Not a lot of bitterness in this one. You got dankness, but not a lot of bitterness. Yeah, there it is. All right, so I don't think I'm going to be editing this one, so I'm not going to do the whole spiel. And I don't think I'm going to be productive for the rest of the night. So I'm just going to finish what's in front of me here, reluctantly, and hang out. And if Danger Ginger wants to jump in, I'm all right with that. If Danger Ginger wanted to jump in, we could do a little preview of tomorrow's show. Give you guys a little taste of how it goes. Random plugs. Yeah. So Holy Smoke is very hard to find on Spotify, but they're there and they are findable. But another band you can check out that my dearly departed friend Dave fronted. It's called Soul Gazer, and it's SOL Gazer, GAZER, and that'll just give you a little idea of what this guy's music was all about. It might put a couple cents in the pockets of a couple good friends of mine who are also grieving the loss of their former frontman. So definitely check out Soul Gazer. This guy, he was an artistic genius, man. He was it's unbelievable. He just couldn't harness it and couldn't maintain it, you know. Anyway. Oh, I'll have next stream because it's really disappointing. There's a song that he and I wrote together that I wrote all of the music and he wrote one verse and the chorus. And I took it upon myself a couple years back to finish the second verse. I wasn't really in contact with him. Nice. Very nice. What's up, Paul? What was I saying? Yeah, I think these THC beverages are affecting my short-term memory. uh, no, yeah, rest in peace, Dave. You were an artistic genius, but you were just too mad for your own good. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, yeah. It had been a little while since we were tight, but that's what I said. It's all those THC beverages I've been drinking. Um yeah, we were tight, but he went his own way about, man, I want to say like almost like 8 years ago. So we'd only seen each other. Oh man, I was so happy. Like I've had friends who passed away, and like I think back, and it's like the last time I saw him, it wasn't the best. Last time I saw him, I ran up and gave him a huge hug and was like, "Dude, it's so good to see you. How have you been? We should definitely hang out one day." And for reasons beyond any either of our circumstances, it never happened. But I'm glad we had that last encounter because it hasn't been great with some other of my friends who have passed away. So then that's just a sign to like, if someone's in your life, like treat everyone like gold. Everyone who is important in your life, treat them like gold. That's all. Yeah, 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 yeah. I mean, but this one, it was like 41. You know, there were circumstances I haven't mentioned. Like there was stuff. Ah, but yeah, not trying to like bum everyone out and everything. Just got brought back up and everything. Soul Gazer, you know what? I'm not gonna get a copyright if I play Soul Gazer. I don't think. And even if I do, it's worth it. I mean, I'm good friends with all the surviving members, so there it is. I'm gonna step away for a minute. All right, here we go. Do you remember when we were flying south, hopping trains and trying to change, changing everything but our minds? Do you remember when we swung from fire to night? A couple of Okay, I didn't realize that song was 6 minutes long, and like, no disrespect, you know. Um, yeah, so the contract ended, and now we're not going to see anything like that from Yingling. Um, there's talk of another collab coming up, but nothing is concrete. And it's, I mean, I wasn't a fan. Sorry. I wasn't a fan at all, but it was super disappointing to hear. Um, you know, a lot of people. I mean, I'll tell you what though. The first year we saw, like, we couldn't even get it in. Like, our distributor, like, just didn't have enough to give us any. And then the second year we got like a ton, and it sold like crazy. And then the third year, which was the third year of the contract, oh no, it was a 4 year. Third year it did okay, and then the last year we had it sitting on the floor until like spring. Um, like, I know a lot of people out there like really liked it, uh, but it it definitely fell off. It was more about the initial hype, and B, the contract ended. So I mean, they weren't about to renew it after that last year. But they may have heard some talk about them potentially doing something with another uh, company. I just don't remember the specifics. Yeah. Um, yeah, I guess I'm done being productive tonight, but I will still probably drink more. I don't know if it's going to be THC or what, but we'll see what's going on in the fridge. I'm just here hanging out. Done being emotional. Yeah, this is terrible. Let me pour more. It's got to be artificial sweetener in here. No, there isn't. Oh, yep, stevia. How did I not see that? And monk fruit and sugar. Like, that's why it's so sweet. It's like one or the other or the other. Like, you don't do all three. You do one. Oh man. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to be bringing these guys into my store. Whoops. Okay. Sorry. Blowing up. Yeah, let me get. I know what I want. Be right back. What is? I don't know why this beer smells like celery. I didn't have any celery in my fridge. So this again is not an official review. This is just me hanging out drinking a beer. This one is from This one is from Tonewood. It is a 5.2% lager, Mexican lager, hopped with Saz and Tettnang, and the malts are Two Row, Biscuit, and Munich. I got a free 6-pack of this at the beginning, like springtime, like yeah, somewhere in spring, and I'd never had it. I don't think by that point, and I was just like falling in love with like pilsners and lagers at that point, and this is like it always. I always thought of it as like what Corona could be if it wasn't mass produced, like and honestly, like, you take the salt and lime away from any Mexican lager out there, and like, this is what it should be stripped down. And like, I'm not saying like, don't add the salt or whatever, like, do what you want, I don't care. But the base beer has got to be right, you know? Mm. On the nose, just everything you would expect from a lager. You got that breadiness, you got slight bitterness, hints of bitterness in there. Let's give it a try. Yeah, just so clean, just so easy drinking. Like, this is what Corona should be. If Corona weren't mass produced, it would be this. If if it didn't have all that hype around it and everything. Um, just so fresh, so crisp, so clean, so full of flavor, but at the same time, just easy drinking. What do we got for a date here? Yeah, canned at the end of July. I'm very happy with my purchase. I bought way too much beer this week, and that's why I have leftovers. Um, but I'm very happy with my purchase. This 6 pack, somehow I stretched out a lot longer than I should have, but excellent stuff. And Tonewood, like, they just don't make bad beer. I've had one beer from Tonewood that was less than amazing, and it was just because I expect more from them. And this one was just boring. But in this case, like, I mean, it's not often I'll grab a Mexican lager, like, for the fridge, just like, for the night. But y- there's not a lot of Tonewood beers that, like, you pass up, you know? Um, and Tonewood also, they brew with no additives or adjuncts, sorry. They, ooh, no, I'm good. They, there's only like a handful of beers that I've had from them that's right. There's only a handful of beers that I've had from Tonewood that were flavored, as they would say. One of them being Revolution Porter, which hopefully I'll have in my store next week. I love that beer. Coffee porter with local coffee from Revolution Coffee Company. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, they switch up the coffee blend every year. And every year, oh my God, it's better than the last. Um, oh, I'm getting a little horsey. A little hoarse, sorry. I better take a lozenge before my live stream tomorrow. Thank you. Well, you weren't home this whole time? Oh, you're gonna go game. I thought it said go home. Yeah, I'm not gonna be on much longer. Right now, I'm just like, you know, I have no reason to turn it off. So yeah, man. Have a good night. Talk to you tomorrow. It's gonna be a great show tomorrow. I cannot wait to talk about everything. I'm glad we didn't really touch on much tonight or anything. Well, yeah, before I went on, we talked about it. But yeah. You know what I mean. Have a good night. Cheers. My only viewer. But that's not going to stop me. This is an amazing beer. I am in no shape to rate it right now, but I don't buy 6 packs of just anything. You know, Tillman Poolside, maybe 3 6 packs a year, but it's always an amazing experience. Tonewood never lets me down, except for trail beer. Wasn't bad. There was just nothing going on. Oh, well, yeah, I should probably go soon. I'm just drinking a beer and not reviewing anything. I still have this to drink. No one wants to see that. Um, yeah. Well, what's this? Okay, not next week, but the week after. I'm not gonna be on. I might do a Friday night, but I might go to a wrestling show that night. But if I'm not on, I'll make it up to you somehow.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be on. And I'm gonna do everything in my power to make it to that show Friday night. If I don't make it to that show Friday night, which I really, really want to, I'll be on. I'll do a Friday night exclusive with BJ. But yeah, no, it's probably gonna be yeah, I'm probably gonna have to we'll see what happens. There's a good chance I won't be on. Not next week, the week after. Next week. Yeah, next week. I got plenty of samples that I didn't get to this week. Yeah. I'll be here next week. But the week after, little iffy. Stay tuned. Stay on the socials. Even though I don't post anything about my streams on any of my other social media, check those. Busting the viewer count now, just getting like pop-ins. This is like, why am I even still on? So it's kind of funny when I see a little one pop up and I'm like, oh, cool. And then like 3 minutes later. I haven't had Heineken in a very, very long time. I don't like the funky yeastiness. I don't mind Heineken Light. Heineken Light's a very good beer. It cuts down on that funkiness. But yeah, man, I just it's also been a good 15 years since I've had Heineken. So, I can't really and I'm not about to grab it to drink next week because I'll probably have a bunch of stuff that people handed me and a bunch of stuff that I was interested in, just like this week. Nope. Oh man, it just barely hit my lips. I feel like I gotta find it now. I know I've reviewed that because that is too familiar. And it's a big nope. Like, I've been doing this for almost 3 months. All right. It wasn't that week. I'll just go backwards. That's current. Is that current? Is this me now? Yeah, that's definitely that.
What?
Oh, it wouldn't have been this week. It would have been the week before. No, it would have been the week before that. This is the unboxing. Senorita. All right, I can't find it, but I know I've had that before. Yeah, it had to have been this night, but I'm not about to watch that episode. Well, yeah, I got nothing. Like I said, I'm just hanging out drinking a beer. I'm not even drinking the beer. Oh, yeah, just hanging out drinking a beer. Nothing exciting going on here. No need to watch, but please do. Okay, so when I said no need to watch, I was wrong. It was a pretty nice burp that was worth catching. Yeah, drank a bunch of stuff. I didn't really drink that, but whatever. I sleep so good. on Saturday night, and I wake up so late on Sundays, but not hungover at all, just feeling amazing. Even if no one's watching, which is normally the case, I love doing these streams. And if I'm motivated, I even get content a second time if I feel like editing out the individual reviews. But everybody, tune in to BJ and DG Talk Wrestling tomorrow and every Sunday, 5 o'clock. There's an asterisk next to every Sunday. But we've been like 80% in the almost year we've been doing our thing. Yeah, man. We're gonna have a live stream tomorrow. We're gonna have a live stream every Sunday for the next foreseeable future. And if you're not checking it out, you're really missing out. Whether or not you're a wrestling fan or if you just can't get enough of me. Yeah, man. I hate to break it to you like this, but if you're not watching BJ and DG Talk Wrestling, you're missing out. I want to like knock these over. I won't though. Well, that is all I have for this time. If I see you tomorrow, I see you tomorrow. If not, I'll see you next time. But that's all I got for this time. Until next time. Cheers.